Hmm. Hello, John, Frank, AJ, Tyler, Scott. What's up, dudes? AJ, can you talk about your experience yet at Grand Lake? Has it been feast or famine? Hello, David. Have you seen things you like? Things. Oh, there's Hella. Rig a bunch of rods you won't use. What rods will you use, Hella? Uncle Randy. I haven't seen Uncle Randy a lot. I saw Uncle Randy post a something on Facebook, and two people commented on it. Didn't look like it had very much steam, but that seems to be the way with Facebook anyway. So you got to really get in there and grind if you want to flip people's switch. Um, it was interesting. I happened to look at my analytics here on YouTube like a couple days ago, just out of curiosity, and I have had uh, 200 video shares, which I thought was a strikingly high number considering. Uh, Spinnerbait, chatterpiece, and a jig. Uh, sounds like sounds like a good way to catch three threes and up. Has fishing been good, Hella and AJ, or has it been mediocre? I'm missing my black paint. This is not good. Not good, fellows. Not good at all. I just need black. Meh at best. Ouch. Ouch. Meh at best. Could be sandbagging. Could be telling the truth. Left all the bigs for the tourney. That's a smart move. You don't want to win practice. You don't want to catch all the big carp in practice. What would happen if you had a really shitty day and you just like melted down and you said, I'm not going to win anything? And you had this meltdown like in the morning and you just like completely were over what you were doing. And you went out there and you caught carp and you just started boxing carp. And then you brought those to the scale and got DQ'd. That'd be a pretty good way to go out. Just use navy blue. No one will notice. No one will notice. I don't have navy blue. I don't have navy blue. I don't have brown, and I don't have regular blue. I can't even make it. Um, Find some DD14s. I like that. Like the sound of that. I do like that, AJ. Were they non-gel coat? Were they like real old, or were they gel coated? Royal blue. The issue I think I'm having is that my children have been here and they painted 2 weeks ago in here because I have glow in the dark paint and they like glow in the dark paint. Uh, one real old one. That's what we like. That's what we like. But I'm wondering if we took the black paint home for pumpkin. Bean wanted to paint pumpkins, so I brought some of this kind of stuff home to paint pumpkins with. But out of package, hanging on wires in a tackle shop. Ooh, I like that. Like that vibe. Definitely can get behind that. Those are always the best stores when they have like Christmas trees of baits. You know, guys, I think that's like key to having a good tackle shop is buying used tackle. There was a tackle shop in Austin, McBride's, and they would have guys just bring in tackle boxes. And a lot of the stuff I saw come in Austin's tackle stores was massive amounts of DD22s, the number 7 bombers, Fat Freeze, like big deep diving crankbaits. You saw a lot of those 1 ounce rattle traps, a lot of those. Trying to think what else I used to see a ton of. Just sickening amounts of DD22s. Like it was absurd. Spooning in the motel. Spooning in an Airbnb, Dustin. Spooning in an Airbnb. No black paint there. Well, how am I going to dot eyes without black, bros? How's your boy going to dot eyes without black? I feel like I'm overlooking it somewhere. I can make black. I have black pigment, but I just didn't want to go to that because I have to get off of here in order to do that because I have to get messy and get things. Can now confirm Hayabusa trebles are sharper than stocks. AJ, get the braid out. Hella needs stitches. Hella needs for you to sew his ass up. Hella AJ, have y'all met any fellow anglers? Have y'all made friends at this event? Have y'all been shaking hands and kissing babies over there for Hella's election? I guess I'm about to clean up. Got to go to my co-angler dinner. It's like the kids' table at 2 o'clock. All the lowly co-anglers have to hang out with all the other lowly co-anglers. They can't let y'all hang out with the big boaters. Huh. Pecker checkers, we're here. We're here. Can't find. If y'all could excuse me for about 30 seconds, let me walk into the other room. Don't know. Don't know, dudes. Look what I found. Retro. Retro. Did you weight them a little heavy, Burns? Is that what winterized means? I'm sure this stuff is right under my nose somewhere. But I can't put my finger on it. Oh well. Marty, what's the best balsa to throw in November in the Ozarks when the water is 65 degrees? Water is clearer than average. Vince, what's up? Couple of little tricks. Interesting. Marty is tuning the SB1s. He's putting a custom tune on them. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that, builder dude. Where is my paint? What is this? What kind of hat is this? Richardson 112? What does this even look like? Matches my outfit. I've come to the realization that I don't particularly love the way a Richardson 112 fits. It's a little low in the crown. Hella can relate. Any shallow water crank. What'd you say? What's the criteria? Clearer than average, 65 degrees. Yeah, I would think. I would be throwing something bright, but that's just me. Baby 1 minus time, possibly. Is there any no grass? There's no grass on Grand. Hickey. Worth a shot. Yeah, I guess you kind of just got to cycle through and see what kind of. Was watching the classic rewind and noticed Hamner has a tiny head, almost all buttons engaged. You mean these? The strap was overlapping? No. Like he's like a 6-button showing kind of guy. Like that? That's pretty like all matched up? No way. Yeah, that was that. Yeah, that's pretty tight. If I do it perfectly even, that's not comfortable. I don't know how big a boy he is, but hella, no way. Your head's not that big. You do that? That's a hella skull. Yes. Well, your head doesn't look that big, regardless of your hat size. Having met you, I didn't say, holy shit, this dude's head's big. Ego, yes. Physical, no. Not much, BBC. How are you and the lady friend? John, they've been catching the bass, but the ones I caught were skinny still. Might have been something to do with the rising dirty water. Oh my god, the fish weren't biting. 27-inch fish, what species? What flavor? Yeah. Working on any cool Burns baits? Yes, I did, Burns. And I did my favorite fall winter color and my least favorite, but other people's favorite. It's not bass repellent, 100%. Great color, catches the shit out of them. I just don't reach for it. I'll show you what I reach for. I'll show you what other people reach for. This is what I reach for. Need my paper. This is what I reach for. This is what other people reach for. Also known as DC9 or hot mustard or rusty crawl or 30 other names. But I know this one slays down here. It slays everywhere. I've just never particularly, I've never thrown it probably enough to slay on it, but people love it. I don't. I don't. BBC. This is this color has multiple names. It's a Bagley color. It's called either Tom, Chartreuse Crawl. It's got a couple names that people use, but I like it a lot. Next question. Would y'all prefer 3-dotted eyes or 2? Um, they are. They're both Bagley colors. Both 4-dotted. Yes, I could do 4. I have a color I have to match. I have a color I have to match. Red, white, and blue for Veterans Day. Could. Louisiana bass repellent. Do you really not catch them on that? Dude, the crazy thing about that color is you either don't like it at all or it's like your favorite color. You don't catch them on a brown frog? I can catch it. I can catch them on a brown frog. DC9, not so much. Travis, What's today? Tuesday? I don't think I have anything going Thursday night. Maybe we'll see what's happening Thursday night. Nothing brown. You know, I was never a fan of a brown jig. I know it's famous, famous over in where Hella and AJ are right now, Arkansas, Oklahoma. Brown jigs. Not a big fan. Uh, Banana yellow. I caught them one year. No, not today, Brian. Um, yeah, I prefer green pumpkin or black and blue or something. But brown never. I never caught them on brown. I did catch them on black, blue, brown, and green, if that counts, but not like a strictly brown jig. Uh, I caught them on a brown and orange jig one time that I can remember, but it was never. It was like an isolated thing. Roadkill root beer. Yeah, it's not even brown. I wouldn't even consider that really brown. Um, it's kind of puke. Uh, Missouri Crawl. So is that what's in Missouri Crawl? Is that the one with the chartreuse in it? The chartreuse and the like the gourd green pepper stuff in black. Caught some big ones. Yeah, that's good color. That is a good color. It's a weird combination, but it's pretty sexy. I remember growing up seeing those in the Broward jig and thinking I gotta have these. Uh, Best pose I ever used was hot mustard. There you go. Like I said, you're either one with the hot mustard or none with the hot mustard. Me, I take that back. I've caught them on that fake deep little N in hot mustard, but not the Bagley DC9. Um, Speaking of shrimp, look what I painted. Speaking of shrimp, not that I'll get to use that shit, but it'll be fun. Hello, Nasty Nate. Um, Hey, ¿qué pasa, Señor Clay? What's new? You've been spamming the YouTube streams and Facebook posts with hate speech. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Tyler, I thought it'd be a little hybrid. A little hybrid. Dude, we've noticed down here that we'll clean a few bass from time to time. And it seems like 12 months out of the year, they have crabs in their stomach. And I don't know where they come from or how that works because crabs must spawn like all year because there's no shortage of crabs that are this big all year. It's weird. Bass, reds, and trout. That's nice. First time in my life today, not looking for a cookie. Just threw out the sticker. Tyler, how is that? Like, have you heard anybody explain why that is? You know what I mean? Like, if they spawn once a year, those little crabs should grow up eventually before the next spawn, and there won't be any more little crabs. But I don't know. slow sink native gills, I just make them float. Put a big hook on them. They'll be good to go. Got the old aluminum boat and trailer ready to roll to New Orleans. Oh, you're going red fishing, trout fishing, inshore fishing. Or are you going to go bass fishing? Because you can throw all your regular spinnerbaits away and you have to replace them with humdingers now. Ask Tyler. Fish down there don't eat anything but a humdinger. Bass Fanatic looking for the jackal squirrels. Where are they, Brian? And the jackal squirrels are probably the same place my black paint has gone. See if it got dropped in here somewhere. Nope. Nope. Here. Nope. What was in my trash? Here. Seats. This is disturbing. Always finger mullet. Always little crabs. It's odd. Check that storm before you head down. Yeah, I forgot about that. We do have a little disturbance in the Gulf that might be slipping up towards us. We are in what they call the cone. So I think we'll be on the east side, which is not good. But not wishing any ill will on Louisiana people, but I hope it goes over there. Hope it goes over there. I can go either Saturday or Sunday. Hopefully one is decent. It's an interesting feeling, Clay. You feel like there's something ominous, like just a weird something in the air. Fish before the storm. If that storm comes up here, I don't think fishing is going to be on my radar. Also, Clay, my side of the state, fishing is really good. Sabine and Calcasieu, you could catch 3 to 5 species and catch bull reds anywhere. There you go. Tyler, is it as scenic as the Marsh of Venice? Do y'all have beautiful marshland? Or is it industrial? Clay, possible. The giant buffalo bit your crankbait with its tail. That was a nice fish, Hella. How big is the whole minnow pinging hurting? I don't think it's minnow pinging. Honestly. I think, and there's still like people getting work done, but I think it's a combination of things. It's slow, for sure. For me, for Strike King, for anybody selling shit, fishing related, it's slow. But I don't think it's completely minnow related. Probably a micron of it is. I think it's the state of professional fishing that's bringing everybody down. I don't think people are as excited to watch pro fishing, to watch stuff like that. And I feel like pro fishing's kind of always controlled the temperature of the fishing industry. Um, and I don't think people are excited about it. And when people aren't excited about it, it trickles down. Um, and you've got YouTubers that move the needle and get people excited and buy stuff, but the difference is they can target those people specific with whatever they're doing, and that doesn't necessarily trickle down to me. You know what I mean? Um, Elite Series guys will have extra money for custom paint now. I think the team series is making some good noise. Yeah, that would be awesome. I think we just need. Do we need a reset? Do we need do we need Bass to bankrupt itself and then to somebody to pick up the pieces and restore it and start anew? Uh, Milliken asking for channel members. That's a good point. I mean, I think because he's I feel like he's addressed the the economics of bait sales and 6 cents and having to pivot and adjust and all that kind of bullshit because they're not selling hard baits, but they're doing just fine selling other stuff. I don't know that I would believe that as truth, uh, but they're probably hurting. I wouldn't say hurting, but their numbers are probably down significantly um, across the board. Um, the Brandon Belt tournament is gone, or Brandon Belt passed away. Tourney's gone. The series is gone. What happened to that? I feel like it was huge. The 6 cents hard baits were the most empty pegs at Honey Creek Tackle in Grove, Oklahoma. Interesting. Very interesting. Because they do a better job at marketing. Castledine blamed the anglers for the Brandon Belt disappearing. Was there talks of that? Like after the last season, I'm guessing it was last year. Was there talks of this is going downhill? Or was it kind of like just lower entries per tourney? Oh, the people weren't showing up. Anglers weren't showing up. Interesting. I wonder if Japanese guys look at 6 cents like we look at Megabass. Highly doubtful. Those guys know. Those guys know. They're not dumb. But what they do look at is like the dumbest shit ever and look at it like Megabass, like the hidden big bud like all that old dumb shit from like the 70s and 80s. They look at that and hold it to like the highest regard. Lower entries. Why do you think that is? The economy got too expensive? Clay, I think that's a shot at Megabass to make that comparison. I don't know what's happening. Yes, I would think 6 cents would be considered junk in Japan. You got to think what they have access to. They had higher entry fees. Also, there's really only a handful of guys that can win those tourneys, and think the weekend guy realized it. Um, yeah, but that's always been the case, right? I mean, that's tournament fishing. I mean, since the beginning of time, no matter what, in all honesty, there was only a handful of guys that were going to win. Occasionally, somebody would, but I guess maybe now it's gotten too stretched out. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, Duke could go down the bank, get on a stretch of whatever, throw in a spinner bait, didn't know shit about shit, and catch 25 pounds and win. Now you can't even like dumb dumb yourself into finding like a 38-pound bag. You know what I mean? Like you can't even get lucky and win anymore. I guess that's how good guys have gotten to where you can't even luck into them. Like you could luck into a check maybe. Back in the day, you were in a $30,000 boat fishing for 100K. Now it's 110K boat fishing for 100K. Yeah, you have to work for the bags and hugely pressured. I mean, you're right. The guys probably did look at it and say, "Look, dude, we've got to catch. Like, we can't even get lucky enough to even consider winning. Like, we don't even know how to do that. You know what I mean? Like, we have to catch a 7 pound average. That's not going to happen. Like, if we fish 7 brush piles and caught a 7 pounder at each one, like maybe, uh, but maybe they did. Maybe they woke up. But there's always a large population of people that like tournament fishing, and they didn't necessarily think they were going to win, but they like going out there and trying. But maybe the juice wasn't worth the squeeze before. Like Clay said, you're fishing out of a affordable boat, um, shitty electronics, trolling motor, tackle box, gear. You go out there and you fish against everybody, and it's fun. You throw your money in the pot and go have a good time. Now it's elevated so much that who cares? You know what I mean? You show up and see $100,000 boats with $50,000 worth of electronics on it, and the guy pulls up in his bass truck and he's like, I'm good. Same salary in 96 and 2024 with no change. We got change now. So, pocket change. Well, everybody should be $50,000 richer in theory. So they can just add that to the top of whatever they make this next year. Might sound pretty good. You know, Tyler, that was one thing that used to disappoint me was plaques weren't a thing when I actually had a chance to win anything. The trails I fished, nobody gave out plaques. And it pisses me off because I would like to have something that was like physical proof that I did something. But back then they didn't have any plaques, which sucked. Now the Pride of the South, he gives out plaques and trophies and stuff, but guys could just get a job that gives them 9 weeks off and stop working for sponsors. Possible. Certainly possible. But all those guys like to dick around and hunt and shit. Then they have to work during hunting season. That's not going to work. I don't know. Two-place plaques, I like that. Second loser's always good. I didn't even think about getting I was just thinking about first place plaques. I didn't ever thought about like second and third place plaques. But like my friends' grandfathers and dads and stuff, like during the Federation era, like the 80s and 90s, when you'd go over to like their garages, there'd be plaques and trophies everywhere, dude. Like they gave them out for everything. And it wasn't like big giant trophies, but you did see little trophies and big plaques, and it was pretty cool. Two of the people who qualified for the BPT for the Invitationals turned it down and are fishing the Opens. Dustin, who are those people? Any names we'd know? Brandon Belt had the WWE belts. Yeah, that is cool. I've seen 16th place plaques. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. Salzy went to the Opens. That'll be interesting. Very interesting. The meme lord. Has he still not changed that? Is he still the meme lord? Participation trophies, yeah. Like I said, I only was worried about one. 3 plaques. See, that like if you're getting 3 plaques from the Federation, just the Federation, and you fish some other stuff and get some plaques along the way from it, over the course of a fishing career, you could fill up a whole wall. I guess that's how these guys back in the day would fill up their garages with all these trophies and plaques. It was really impressive because You don't see it much anymore like you used to, but I remember when I turned like 16 and I'd go to my buddies' houses, you'd be driving through neighborhoods and you'd see the garage open, and it would be like a stuffed bass on the wall surrounded by trophies, and you'd see the bass boat. But I don't know that people give out trophies as much, and you just don't see garage doors open with trophy walls and stuffed bass hanging on the wall. Um, Bean changed my screen to purple, and I don't know how to get it off. Do I pull it down? No. Swipe over? No. No. How do I fix this? How do I change my background? Because there's a way you can swipe. There it is. Got it back. You hold down on the home screen. Logan and Robbie Latuso camp has no wall space left, even in the bathrooms for plaques. That's pretty badass. That's what I'm talking about, though. Like, Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong, but you just don't see shit like that anymore. Build something out of your excess plaques, table, bar. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I don't know. I don't know. Trophy rooms. Make plaques great again. Not to 16th place though. Maybe a top 4, 3. 1 through 3 get plaques. Are you friends with those Logan and Robbie? Are those your compadres? Well, I started throwing the plaques away. No, I've heard people say that, dude, that they throw those away, and it really is kind of hurts the soul. What is this? How did I get this? Oh, this is Uncle Buck. This is what I've been missing. It was in my computer over there. Uncle Buck and the Great Outdoors. I'll be damned. I guess I was watching it in here. Huh. Who knew? Who knew? Anytime someone says, "Hey, come look at my accomplishments," yeah, I'm good. Most of my plaques from my club days are 16 to 30 are probably gone. Damn, that sucks. I think it's cool to see the trophy walls, the plaque walls, the bass fishing. Mainly just because, to me, it says not that I'm like good or better than anybody. It says I've spent an insane amount of time dedicated to bass fishing and being on the water, and this proves it. Man, Uncle Buck. I prefer the Great Outdoors, but Uncle Buck is still good. Bug, gnat. Wait a minute. I like to keep it real sharp. Met Logan when he came down to fish the open on the Sabine and been friends ever since. You know what I was thinking about yesterday? Because I was in here doing something, and Lee Livesey's YouTube video popped up from Florida or something you just posted, and it had Taku uh, drinking beer on it. And I was like, I don't really want to watch all this. I want to watch Taku drink beer. So I skipped to the where I saw Taku and watched Taku uh, drink bushes with Lee and what's his name. Um, but I started thinking, I was like, this is uh, like Bass is getting swept away because now, like if you're a professional bass fisherman and you don't have a YouTube channel, obviously you're screwing up. But now it just dawned on me that like everything is a la carte, including bass fishing. If you want to watch coverage of the Harris Chain Elite Series event, you can watch your favorite angler like his entire experience of that tournament, rather than what Bass puts together, which is cool, but it also kind of pushes them out. Binsky's. That one, here they are. Um, 6 boat derbs. Hey man, nobody knows the difference. First place is first place. Pro anglers are doing more to promote Bass than Bass is doing to promote them. Like there are guys that get more views than Bassmaster does. Yeah, which is really that's always been up on my radar. So here we are. We had like 26, 27 people on here a few minutes ago. And I'm just some dipshit sitting around talking about fishing. Well, the leader in bass fishing, Bassmaster, they do a little midday live stream. Same number of people, and they have 500,000 subscribers or something like that. The math ain't mathin', dudes. Sorry, but I smell a turd. Somebody's lying. The only thing the Bassmaster has that the elite guys need is the classic. Pretty much. The classic's fun. It's cool. They do have the ultimate carrot. The ultimate carrot. But I guess Clay, that's next to fall. That's next to crumble. Can it? Hope not, but maybe it could. I don't know why these YouTubers don't put their own trail together. You know what I mean? If they were smart, that's what they do. They all can film it. You know what I mean? And then you get a first person perspective from that individual the whole time. Like if you want live coverage, that's the way you do it. You have guys that already make videos like that. And I'm sure there's 50 of them that would get together in Texas somewhere and fish a tournament. And they all want to pay whatever amount of money, and you have it filmed. They all have their guys. My dad did a lot to plant the classic seed in my mind, and I won't be doing that for my son. Yeah, that's sad. That is sad. Times are changing, I guess. Yeah, that would be the smart thing to do, is to not worry about it at all. But I guess if your heart truly lies in the love of tournament fishing, you could do it yourself and you don't need bass. Was my point. You know what I mean? Like they're getting whatever views they need on their own. They don't need Bassmaster. They, like Clay said, they only need them for the classic carrot. But this is all very negative. We need Bass to come back strong. So Clay will tell his kid what the Bassmaster Classic is, and everybody's happy. But I would bet our Clay's buddy Ben Milliken, I would bet you don't see him on the Elite Series next year. Lynn Dollar has the ticket. You know what, Clay? I found a video from my collection from Lynn that he has not uploaded to YouTube. And I sent it to Tim Maynard because I was talking about a quote from, turns out it was from 94, leading up to the Classic at High Rock. And they, what's his name? Bob Cobb. It was like one of these special, it was called a Winning Ways from 94. And it was about David Fritz, and Bob Cobb went into Speedy's Barbecue in Lexington, North Carolina, and he sat down with a couple of dudes in there and Speedy, and the quote that I mentioned was, I think I said it on here last time I was talking. Called probably be caught. The guy, he asked him how the fish would be caught. And he said they'd probably be caught shallow around some bushes that we all know. And I couldn't find that quote, and I was like, "Where is that? What movie is like? What DVD is that on?" And I finally found it. Take my son to see the legendary Rich Lindgren at Ray Roberts Day One. Won't we all? I'd probably bring the bean out for that. Hella, you'd have a pretty big crowd. That'd be a good meetup place for everybody. The launch to see Hella go catch his first classic bass. Hella, how many days is this tournament? How many days do you have to angle? Where is that DVD? Let me find it. I need to go through and see which ones Lynn doesn't have uploaded and upload it. I've got Bassman uploaded, but I can't figure out how to upload it in its entirety. It only lets me do it by chapter. Dustin, I don't think he did. I think he got old. I think he just got old. 3 days, full field 2 days, top 20 day 3. Got it. Thank you. Can't call it anything gay like The Gathering. I don't know why they use The Gathering, because ICP already used The Gathering. Like, why would you use The Gathering? Because then it just sounds like an ICP clown meetup. Like you couldn't think of anything else that wasn't already used. I can't send my son to chase the dream like my dad did. That's not what it used to be. I'll push him toward dentistry or something that is recession proof. Yeah. Clay, did your dad push you to fishing for a living? Like he said, "Hey, if you wanna catch bass for a living, this is how you do it." Like he kind of like nudged you in the way of pro fishing, which would be incredible. That was never pushed in front of me. Um, Nerds playing the Magic cards. What was that? Dungeons and Dragons, Magic. What was? Did they have a Gathering? Magic the Gathering. Was that one of the decks? My dad pretty much stuffed those dreams down my throat. That's pretty awesome, though. I mean, looking back, I don't know if you liked it or not, but I think it's cool. Yeah, now there's probably better things to dream about. But back then, it was a good dream. Cousin who was into it, I used to beat him up for being a nerd. Magic is Pokemon for people who like elves and shit. Uh, Dude, we live by like a right down the road from like a park. I don't know about y'all, but if y'all ever saw when Pokemon Go came out, the app, apparently there was a bunch of those little Pokemons in the park. Uh, it was pretty amusing seeing the people that would show up at the park, walking around staring at their phones, collecting little digital doodads, whatnots. Playful dead arms and noogies. My dad always said sponsors will find me if I was good at fishing, and I shouldn't brag about myself or flaunt my fishing talent. I think he's definitely right to a degree, Dustin. But I think local regional guys, you kind of gotta put your feelers out there and let people know who you are. Um, like for a sponsor to find a local or even regional guy, you have to be like a one percenter. You know what I mean? Like you're like legendary. And at that point, you probably don't need sponsors because you've won so much money locally, it doesn't matter. And you also need to be rich in local sponsorship to where there's like people that's like you need a strong bass fishing community around where you live because then people would understand it. There's their sponsor. They never could have checked them days and cash checks that are sponsored. Yeah, that's the problem is, Tyler, nobody really knows at the end of the day what sponsorship means or is or what they have. You know what I mean? A lot of people put that shit on their shirt. Might be getting a few crumbs from the company. Might not be getting anything. Who knows? You never know. I chase a dirt stock car racing. a while and burned myself out so bad I can't even look in a car. That's a shame. Well, now I've chased fishing lure painting and burned out so bad I don't even want to look at a fishing lure. Just kidding. Royal Oak charcoal back when I cooked in barbecue contests. Once I won a contest is when the offer came. How about that? Do you still use Royal Oak charcoal, Gator? I wanted to get sponsored so bad as a teenage skater in New Mexico. Didn't get any love till I started competing and putting out video stuff on a national level. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, uh, there's ways to go about getting noticed. Now it's flooded, but before it was you had to have a pretty special skill set. I was offered a national team deal at 24 to go race go-karts and turned it down. I wasn't that good on a national level. Just spoke the truth. Can't speak the truth in fishing. Yeah, that's what this kind of sounds like me and guitar playing. Like I was pretty good in my high school, and then I went to college, and I was walking down the street from where the house I lived in, and there was these two guys sitting on the porch playing, and they were like the same age as me, but like 1,000 times better. And I was like, holy shit, we've been doing this the same amount of time or less. Like we've had the same amount of time to get good at this, and y'all are like way better than me. And I feel like I played a lot, but because I'd never been around like other musicians really, just like people at school. And yeah, those guys were next level. I was like, oh, it's a bigger pool we're swimming in here. It's interesting. Everybody's had their little shot at something: skating, go karts, racing, barbecue competition. It's pretty awesome. Who knew everybody had their little niche sub or alternate thing to fishing? I don't know that I ever got good enough. Well, I guess for me it was the transition from fishing to painting, but they were both fishing related. That was kind of my switch, was from fishing to painting lures. That was where my energy went. Gator, you still cook a lot? You still throw a brisket down on the pit? Fishing was there waiting for me when I decided I was done with racing. See, I've never had really anything that took uh, the place of fishing, um, that I like came back to it. Besides painting, now it's kind of taken over fishing, but I could get out of painting and go back to fishing, which would probably be smart. I mean, you got to think about it. Do I really need to continue this when bass fishing is going down the drain, or is it just an opportunity? Good questions. College fishing was just starting. Scott, are we the same age? Are you 40? That's what I think, Gator. Um, yeah, my grades were too shitty in college for me to get on the fishing team. and it didn't make any sense because you couldn't fish for money because it was a collegiate thing. And they picked all these shitty clear lakes to fish, and you only fished for points to qualify you for other tournaments where you couldn't win money. I'm good. I'm good. Be 50, so you're 10 years older than me. The first fishing club in the country. How about that? So y'all were way ahead. Way ahead. Yeah, they tried to get me to fish the Alabama team. It was when Hank Weldon was up there. Wish I had all the money back I spent racing carts. Tyler's College didn't have one. I didn't understand it. Like looking back, I probably should have fished it, but I couldn't make it make sense. So, like I could fish in Tuscaloosa, around Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, against guys that were really, really, really insanely good, and maybe make a few crumbs back, but mainly just get my ass kicked and try and compete with those guys to get better. And I couldn't make it make sense to just fish with like 20 college students for nothing. That didn't seem to benefit me in what I was trying to accomplish. I was trying to get better, uh, and I didn't think fishing against those guys were going to make me any better. I think fishing against veterans was going to make me better because I wanted to win, right? Fishing with 20 dipshits from Alabama, is that going to make me a winner? Or fishing against Dalton Bobo and Joe Lay? Bobo and Joe Lay. So that's what I did. Clay, I think that I've seen a couple of those guys that do that, and it was always kind of weird, where you got your like 20-year-old kids, and then you got your one dude that's like grad student, and he's like 30, still fishing. I wish I would have went. I wish I would have went to college at like 32. That'd have been probably appropriate for me. 35. That'd have been a good age for me to go to college. I should have just worked when I got out of high school. Let me let myself do other things and not be so obsessed with catching bass all the time. It's almost an unhealthy addiction to the action of fishing and keeping up everything from fishing. Yeah, it's got a way of sucking you in. I wore my fishing club coat to class and was never approached by anyone who fished. How about that? Fishing with against guys from the east side of the state definitely made me better. Also, going against guys at the lakes. Anyone here ever use a MCK Roni conversion kit? Scott, I would 100% agree with that. Looking back, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Go to work, figure out what you want to do. Because you don't know. Like, you got to think. I mean, you've been in school your whole life, and then you just go to harder school by yourself, left to make decisions. Yeah, I don't know about that. All right, bros. I'm gonna get off of here and go find my black paint. Oh, I didn't show y'all what I painted. Oh, I guess I did. I did. This strikes me as a Dustin Taylor color. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but I just feel like River Dudes love DC9. This is a DT color. Maybe not. Dustin, where do you stand on DC9? If I missed it earlier, refresh my memory. Haven't thrown it. Surprising. I thought this was a staple of all river gurus. Barkley Lake Killer. It's pretty sexy. Pretty sexy. Bandit doesn't make a DC9? That surprises me. All right, I'm gonna go make me some black paint so I can dot eyes. Triple dot. Started my career at 25 and almost 14 years in. Yeah, I guess I'm almost 10 years into painting. Time to hang it up. Time to turn up the heat. Spring crawl through chartreuse and red and pearl. 10-4. All right, campers, be looking for an email at some point in the next 2 days. Anywho, good talking to everybody. We'll catch up later and see what Hella and AJ are doing out in Oklahoma. 30 years into a career and still trying to figure it out. Yeah, heard that. All right, Gator, Scott, Bobby, Clay, Dustin. Anybody else lurking? Good talking to you. There you go, Bobby. We'll check in. Be good.